Elliot, we mentioned on the podcast. Well, you mentioned on the podcast before we signed off at stupid o'clock in the morning. That there would be some clarity coming up this week about the Calgary Flames coaching situation, and it came Monday morning, and that is Daryl Sutter, now ex of the Calgary Flames. Your wide brush thoughts on this one?
If you would have asked me immediately after the season, would Sutter be out? I would have said no. Obviously during the season was a really rocky, difficult season. I mean, you don't need me to relive that. Everybody knows what happened in Calgary this year. And, the exit meeting process in Calgary, from what I understand, was a pretty fascinating one. They told the players that these were not going to be short meetings. In a lot of cases, they're 10 to 15-minute meetings. These ones were longer. I think in some cases they lasted up to an hour. And also, Tree Living, who at the time still hadn't announced that he wasn't going to be accepting an extension, he was in them. And Don Maloney, who at the time was not yet president of hockey operations, he was in them too. So both of them took copious notes, I guess. And, they wanted to know everything. They told the players that after a year like this, nothing should be unknown. They should know everything that was going on. And, a lot of you saw those media conferences. Some players like Toffoli were excited about coming back, and other players like Backlund and Lindholm, they didn't put it this way. They weren't playing poker. They weren't bluffing. They were telling you exactly what they were thinking, some part of it by what they were not saying. And, I think that all of that information was presented to ownership. And I think the recommendation was that to ownership that they had to make a change. And I don't think it was, sorry, Jeff. I don't think it was easy because, as everyone knows, Sutter has a 2-year extension at a little over $4 million per. And I don't think that any owner wants to pay someone to not do anything. And I just think we got to a situation where, they just realized it was untenable and it was going to affect the roster, and they decided to make the choice. And, to be perfectly honest, I think that this was known internally yesterday. At least that's kind of what I'm hearing. Like someone said to me, they wouldn't be surprised if Sutter looked at the situations too and said, not only if the players don't think it's going to work, then I don't think it's going to work either. And I don't think that means he was going to resign or anything like that. But, I kind of under the impression that everybody came to the realization that this was going to have to happen.